Today, we become legends.
Today's Titan Talk showcased the OB10 update in full with a bunch of new stuff coming, such as new items, features, and of course Apollo. However, as always, I won't be covering Apollo in this video as I already have a dedicated video showcase out for him on the channel that you can check out after this one if you're interested. I'll link that down below. But without further ado, let's jump into the OB10 showcase. First up, there's a new supporter store purchase that gives you a teleporter skin. They showed the red fireball one on stream, but there will be two different versions of this which are in a bundle in the supporter store. Next up, there's 5 new items coming to the game in OB10, which are all tank items and all pretty crazy, to be honest. They will be staggering the release of these items a little bit, so some of them will launch with OB10, but some will be delayed, sort of like a second aspect would be in an update. Firstly, we have Contagion as a health-based alternative to Ruinasang for your tank anti-heal. This comes with 500 max health and 6 health regen, and the active effect anti-heals enemies for 75%, which is the current anti-heal cap, and that lasts for 6 seconds. Anytime an enemy uses an ability while under this anti-heal effect, you reduce your active cooldowns by 0.25 seconds, and the active effect is on a 45-second cooldown. Erosion is also returning to the game from Smite 1 in this update. It works very similar to Smite 1's version, reducing enemy shields that are applied near you by 30%, and when this effect triggers, you gain plus 10% protections for 6 seconds. This comes with 25 physical and 50 magical protections, as well as 250 health in terms of base stats. These next 3 items were specifically aimed at being endgame payoff items for tanks, sort of similar to how Rod Tahuti is an endgame payoff item for mid laners, as they did mention on the show that they feel like late game tanks are a bit underwhelming right now and can't really scale in the same way that damage dealers can. First up, we have Freya's Tears. This comes with 20 physical and 25 magical protection, as well as 20 cooldown rate. The passive grants you a plus 15% increase to item protections every time you lose 25% of your maximum health. This lasts for 6 seconds and can stack up to twice, so this is meant as that true I'm getting bursted down way too quickly, so I'm gonna buy this sort of item. If you're getting CC'd and nuked down to below 50% health very quickly, you'll get a 30% protection boost for 5 seconds to keep you alive, which is pretty massive. Next up is Draconic Scale, which gives 20 of each protections and 300 health, with a passive that whenever you take damage from a god, it grants you 2 plus 3% of your item protections against that damage type. These stacks last 1.5 seconds, but decay one by one, not all at once, so you can keep this stacked up more easily than something that would lose all of its stacks immediately. At max stacks, this will be a 14 flat plus 21% of item protections boost, which is pretty huge, but of course only against that specific damage type that was hitting you. They did also mention that these damage types stack independently, so you can get 7 physical and 7 magical stacks of this if you're being hit by both types. This also doesn't specify you taking damage once per ability or anything like that, so this will be especially good at dealing with tick damage gods or abilities like Anubis, Kali, Zeus, etc. Being hit by a Kali 2 with this item basically stacks it instantly, which will make it much better into certain matchups. And finally, for new items, we have Dwarven Plate, which comes with 30 of each protections and a passive that grants additional protections from items. This gives a 12.5% increase to one type and a 25% increase to the other type. The active effect of the item swaps which gets the larger boost. So generally, you'll be defaulting to physical due to most teams having 3 physical and 2 magical and most PvE doing physical damage, but then if you're running down the enemy mage or tanking up a phoenix, you can swap to boost magical more. This is definitely the most like Rod Tahuti for sure, and it seems like it will be a good payoff for full tank builds, though it is relatively expensive and doesn't come with much in terms of base stats, so there is a trade-off there. The active effect to swap is on a 30-second cooldown, by the way, because they didn't think it would be very fun to have to micromanage pressing this repeatedly in a fight based on what you're being hit with, which I definitely agree with. Moving on from items though, there's also going to be a new default HUD for console players this patch that aims to more closely emulate Smite 1's console HUD. This will be the default for new players, but you can still swap back to the classic HUD if you want to in the settings menu, or of course edit your HUD however you want via the HUD editor. God Builder is getting some more updates in OB10 as well. You can now filter items more specifically by a certain stat in the items grid, which is really nice, and you can also now copy builds to different gods. So if you find a Thor jungle build that you like and want to use that same build on Loki, you can easily just click copy to Loki or any other god and use that same build. There's also going to be account boosters added in this update, which you can buy directly and can use legacy gems for half off if you have them. It will grant 25% bonus worshippers and 100% bonus account XP. It will also give you a booster icon next to your account name, and that's because boosters will now also provide a smaller boost to your teammates as well. They will get plus 5% worshippers and plus 10% account XP for every player with a boost on their team, and these do stack. So if everyone on your team has a booster, they will all get plus 100% account XP and plus 25% worshippers from from their own boost, as well as plus 40% account XP and plus 20% worshippers from their teammates boost, for a total of 140% and 45%. They also mentioned that they are open to giving out account boosts as rewards for certain things as well, but at the moment they can only be obtained by buying them. This would be a great way to spend your excess wandering market coins, in my opinion, either putting them in collections or traveler markets, or just letting you straight up go into the market and spend your excess coins on boosters. That's just my opinion though. Next up, we have skins for this patch. The first one is Landshark Sobek, which is also coming with prisms. This will be in a traveler market similar to the Umoja skin from OB9, and will also have a jump stamp and a badge in the market as well. The price on stream said 2,400 diamonds, the same as the previous traveler market, but Kilgoon did say that this won't be the final price. It will actually be cheaper than this. Mystic Guardian Athena is also coming as a regular classic skin in this update and will have prisms as well. This one actually has 4 prisms instead of the standard 3. There's Starflare, Nightshade, Lunar Veil, and Stardust. They said the classic skin is 100% legacy gems as normal, but the prisms are priced at 600 diamonds each, or you can buy them all in a bundle for 1,200 diamonds. The Stardust prism is exclusive to the bundle though and can't be bought on its own. And finally for skins, Kelly's Ceramic Circuit cross-gen skin will also be coming in this update as well, so of course if you owned it in Smite 1, you'll get it for free in Smite 2. If it doesn't give it to you, try logging back into Smite 1 and then back into Smite 2. That usually fixes most of the missing cross-gen skin stuff. There will also be a new chest in this update, which is legacy gems only if you have them, and will contain a bunch of classic cutesy badges from Smite 1 if you're interested in that. They're also adding audio sliders for quips and ambient sounds in this update. There will be a flash test for this patch tomorrow, as usual, for those who want to check out the new content and updates. And finally, they didn't show any balance today. They're going to talk about balance for OB10 on Wednesday's show, which is also when they're going to be doing the god roadmap reveal for the next few gods coming to the game. Kilgoon did stress that it will just be a few gods that will be coming very soon to the game though. It won't be a giant roadmap showcasing like 10 gods or anything like that. More so just a small update on what's coming soon. But that's everything for the OB10 update, besides Apollo of course, which I have a dedicated video on already that you can check out. But there was actually a small amount of time left over for Q&A today, so let's jump into a few questions from the community about the update. First up, someone mentioned the Achilles Bug where he starts in armored state but appears as unarmored until you swap back, and they said they're looking to fixing that. Someone asked if they could bring Compassion back, and Pon said they are definitely aware that starters could use some work in terms of adding new ones or even branching upgrades. They're not currently working on them at the moment, but it is on their list of stuff that needs work right now. There was a question of what happens if Apollo dies to a dot while in the air while carrying teammates, and Pon said that they'll just return to where he took off from. Someone mentioned that the active item VFX and sounds could use a lot of work, and Pon said they definitely agree. A lot of those items are essentially designer added prototypes and haven't even gone through the effects team to get real stuff added to them. It's usually just altered and repurposed effects from elsewhere in the game, so they agree that they need to work for sure. Just a matter of finding time to do so. And finally, someone asked if they plan to use PTS data to do more balancing before things go live, and Pond basically said it's very hard to balance things from PTS data because they get very little in terms of actual matches played. It's already a very small percentage of players that even check out the PTS, and most of them just play 1 or 2 matches to check out the new god and new items or whatever, and then they go back to playing the live client. So it's very hard to get concrete data on what's good or bad via PTS. It's mostly just for bug fixing. But that's everything discussed on today's Titan Talk for the OB10 showcase. Let me know your thoughts on this patch down below, and I'll catch you guys for another one later on. Have a great day, and peace out, you nerds.